guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have the second day of the play-in tournament, whatever it's called. Excited for that. 2-game slate here. How are you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing well. We have the better half, I think, because we have the Lakers-Warriors game, the one everyone's waiting for. So, yeah, I'm excited for the slate here. Both games, really. I like the other game as well. Spurs and Grizzlies. Looks like a fun one.
What'd you make of yesterday's games? A little bit of a letdown or no?
I only watched the first one, but it was a really good game, even though it was like a 30-point game the entire time. But yeah, I liked it. I mean, competitive because it was do or die. So I mean, I always like those games.
Yeah, it was definitely competitive considering it was a blowout.
Yeah, usually
McBuckets.
in the regular season, it's like if it's a 30-point game, teams give up. Like they throw in their worst players, but that game was still competitive, even though Charlotte wasn't playing well. But yeah, I thought it was. I mean, I love it.
Charlotte looked awful though, didn't they? Was that just
Yeah,
me?
they did.
Yeah, they looked
Yeah,
like flat-footed. Hasty said it. I don't think they were running many plays or something. I don't know. They just looked outplayed, outclassed. It was brutal. Um, yeah, let's get into it. We got Justin in here. What's up? Brent is in here as well. NBA playoff season. Let's go. Solo in here. Spit that hot fire. Austin. Great FanDuel lineup last night. T-Bay says he woke up with a smile on his face, Chris. Do you know why?
I wonder why.
Yeah, probably Westy. Javante says fade Curry and not to fade Curry decisions.
I mean, I think he's a better play on DraftKings. Scoring system fits him better there. I think on FanDuel you can probably get away with fading him.
Nice. And then we also have we got Nick in here, Chris. He says, can I get a birthday shout out? Shout out to Nick for the birthday.
Is that
I'm not sure
is
how
that
many
Nick
candles.
Nick NJHK? What is that him?
It's Nick H.
Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Nick. He's been with us for a while.
Yeah.
Crushes all sports. So yeah, happy birthday to Nick.
Yeah. Wonder how many candles though are on that cake today. But
I guess like 20, 23, 22, 22 to 25. That's what I would guess.
really?
Yeah, for Nick. Yeah.
He says yeah. I think yeah to that's him, but I don't know how many candles. But anyway, maybe we'll get that. But let's go to the success here. We got Reigns up first. I don't think we went over this one, Chris, because this is 3:30 yesterday, so I don't think we did that one. He says 26. That's more along the lines of what I thought.
Yeah. I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, 26 is a good one. But yeah, Reigns here. EPL action, single entry, double ups. Tournament here, crushing it. FanDuel, same thing. EPL, 24 into 60, also crushing it. Good to see. HBK here, 160, 310. DK, is this main slate here? Looks like it. Then we got Biscuit here, 39 into $64 on DraftKings. Also the main slate, solid stuff. Different lineups from them. Was your lineup different too, Chris?
I think. Yeah. So these guys had Sumner. He was in the optimal earlier, and then it was announced that he wasn't starting, so he fell out of it. But Tatum was in the Sumner team, so I mean Tatum was the key to the slate yesterday. But yeah, didn't have him on DraftKings after the Sumner news.
T-Base says, first thing that came to my mind was told you so.
Told me so.
That's what he says, told you so. All caps.
Yeah, it hurts. I mean, it definitely hurts.
What was Westy's fantasy output yesterday? Do you know?
I have no idea. Just maybe go to my contest and look at the last place guy. Maybe he had Westbrook. Bottom 230. Yeah, 50. Oh, he still put up 55. I mean, he was very expensive, but um, yeah, I don't think he played great. He also had 5 stocks, so kind of carried by the 5 stocks.
Yeah. Let's keep going through it. So we got T-Bay here, $12 into 26. Solid stuff there on FanDuel. Then we have you. Same lineup here, 1424 into $3,800. That's pretty nice, Chris. I think we had that open. You got first place in that. I don't know if that was a double up. Was it a double up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so high score there for yesterday's slate. We got Alex next, $59 into 250. Also FanDuel, same lineup there as well. Cash money, 15 to 50. That's a good one there. Yeah, solid stuff there. Got Aiden here, DK Soccer, 2560, 10 to 24, Soccer Showdown, 50 to 100, NHL, main slate. This is playoff hockey, right, Chris?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the NBA main slate on FanDuel as well, 58 into 140. Main slate NHL on FanDuel, 57 to 114. So lots of ways to crush it here. DFS Crunch. Yeah, people are killing it. But yeah, let's load up your contest, Chris. So you didn't post your DK one. We'll go over that one first. It looks like you broke even there, pretty much. Maybe a bit less, depending on your double ups, triple ups, tournaments.
No, I didn't do great here. Like I said, when we went over the other lineups, Tatum was the key to the slate here. Can you just scroll down a little so we can see everyone? Yeah, there. Yeah, so it didn't have Tatum here. I think it was like ended up being a 3v3. This side had Bertans and Fournier originally. The other one had like Sumner. I don't exactly remember who it was, but the other team had Tatum, and yeah, Tatum went crazy. So he was the guy that we kind of needed. But I still like the construction here. Had a few snowflakes. Bertans had an awful game. But yeah, I like the construction, like I said.
Yeah. What happened to Bertans, Chris? He needed to score some more.
Yeah, I just don't think he had a great game. I didn't watch that game, so I don't know exactly what happened. But yeah, only watched the first game.
Do you want to go over anyone else here?
No, I mean, like I keep saying, it was pretty much Tatum or no Tatum. If you had Tatum, you cashed. If you didn't have Tatum, likely didn't cash.
Got it. Yeah, he put up, what, 50 points? Crazy. What a beast. He's here. Yeah, FanDuel, let's go back here. So yeah, this one crushed 1400 into 3800. First place here in the double up. So yeah, that's good stuff there. What was the difference here? No, oh, you have Tatum here as well.
Yeah, so that was the difference. Didn't have Sabonis, had Tatum. Sabonis had 53. I think the main 2v2 was Tatum and Brissett versus Sabonis and Hachimura. If you just open up I think it was like 8th place team, it had the other side of the combo. Maybe 9th place. 288.3, yeah, that one. Yeah, so it's just a 2v2 here. Tatum, Brissett versus Sabonis, Hachimura. Brissett and Tatum went crazy. Hachimura played a bad game. Sabonis played a good game. I think we projected him for 53. But yeah, that was the only decision. Like you can see, those are the low-owned guys in my lineup. Everyone else is chalky. But yeah, that was the decision on FanDuel, and it paid off.
McBuckets, 16 points in the first quarter. What a beast.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he always does that. Like he always has a hot start, and then he finishes with like 2 extra fantasy points.
He did his job though. Needed to get the rest of the guys going after that. After he got his.
Yeah, I had a lot of head-to-heads in the single game slate against someone. He had Zeller. I had McDermott. Zeller had like 2 deals into fast break dunks. One of them was an and one, so that was plus 11 points in 2 possessions for Zeller. So kind of frustrating. Zeller got like 27. But yeah, McBuckets. I wish he did a little better, but yeah, he did his job, like you said.
Yeah. Rondo says trust the original Opto.
Oh, for DraftKings with Tatum, yeah. I mean, a lot of people played that. People stuck with Sumner. He was still 30% on DraftKings yesterday.
Yeah. Sean says LeBron going for 90 fantasy points if AD is not playing.
80 is playing.
80 is playing. Adrian says Green should have a good game versus the Lakers.
Draymond?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Draymond today. Well, I mean, we'll talk about who I like. We'll talk about both sites once we get into the slate here.
Yep. And then Solo says, how do I send screenshots to the Discord? How do you do it, Chris?
You have to be a member, and you just go to the Discord, bottom left here. There's a plus sign right where Gary's camera is in the chat, and then yeah, you just upload your image.
Oh, this plus sign?
Hmm.
Oh yeah. You can also copy paste it, but yeah. Let's get into the slate, Chris. Let's see. T-Bay says Double T really listened to some Kanye before the game. I saw him with headphones on before the game. I have a good
Christian
guess.
Mingle.
Huh?
Christian Mingle.
Is that what he's on?
Yeah.
So I have a good guess on what song he was playing on his headphones on his phone.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, 2 games here, Chris. 4 teams to choose from. I guess we can do what we did yesterday. Go over the main slate and the single slates here. Between the 2 games, which one do you prefer for DFS here?
Probably the first one. Second game is obviously the one with the big names. Not as much value there just because both teams have guys who are just doing everything for them. So Curry on the Warriors, and then obviously the Lakers with LeBron and AD. But the other game, we have like more mid-range plays. I usually like mid-range guys at this point of the year, just because everyone's getting a lot of minutes. So like Morant, DeMar, DeJounte, Jaren Jackson. I like those guys from the first game. But I still think you're going to get a stud from the second game.
Okay. Wendy says, really want to know why the Hornets coach started Biombo, played him 4 minutes, and was benched for the entire game. How do you say his name, Chris?
Bismack Biyombo?
No, the head coach.
I think Borrego.
Borrego?
Borrego, yeah.
Borrego. Yeah, well, why did he do that? I had Bismack in my tournament lineup.
I mean, Bismack's awful. That's one. So I don't know why they started him, but yeah, they started off very slow. Sabonis was eating, so he took Bismack out. Sabonis was still killing Zeller,
I thought
but yeah, he
Sabonis
left
struggled for
Zeller
a
in most
bit.
of the game. Huh?
I thought he was struggling a bit,
Sabonis?
like scoring.
Yeah, he was struggling scoring, but he was still impacting the game. Like he had a ton of assists. They were doubling him and stuff, so he was getting guys open.
Got it.
But yeah, they were down early, so they pulled Bismack.
Blame it on Bismack. Classic. Hasty says, happy birthday to Nick. Hope you got the bag today. LFG. Playoff basketball is back.
Yeah, Hasty needs to tell us the LaMelo ball of the day. Is it John Morant?
That's true.
Is it DeJounte Murray? Who else is there on this slate?
Who's the kid who thinks he's all that but hasn't played playoff ball yet? Doesn't know the real deal.
It's gonna be like LeBron James. I bet you it's gonna be LeBron James for Hasty. It's got to be,
I mean,
right?
no. I mean, that'll be a different question, I think, for him. This is the LaMelo Ball, like a rookie, little playoff experience. LeBron has playoff experience, so you're kind of asking with the players without as much experience.
Well, I'm
Uh,
asking who's gonna falter under the pressure and bust here, and it's gonna be LeBron. That's what Hasty's gonna say.
he says LeBron is the one today.
Yeah. See,
T-Bay says it's Jaw.
no, Jaw's gonna have a special game here.
Austin says Sabonis looked like he was getting his ass kicked out there.
Uh, I mean, you can take that a few ways. Like he was getting fouled a bunch, but he wasn't getting any whistles for some reason. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I love Sabonis.
Yeah. Let's see. Jaw is built for this, is what Hasty's saying.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. I can see that. I like that. But let's get into it, Chris. First game, Spurs, Memphis, Grizzlies. Let's go over San Antonio. Missing guys, we got Trey Lyles questionable, and then Daquan Jeffries out for them. I think also Luka out for them. Samanich, however you say his name, Samanich. Projected starters, DeJounte Murray and Lonnie Walker, DDR, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob Pertl. Who do you like here, Chris, on the Spurs?
Yeah, so none of those injured guys matter today. They have no role in a game like this. So if they don't play, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I have a lot of interest in the Spurs here. I think that they're going to give their main guys minutes. I think they're probably going to have like a 9-man rotation. I'm not sure if Vassell is going to see the court much. I don't know if Pop is going to trust a young guy like that. So I think they're going to have a pretty condensed rotation. They're pretty cheap here. They're implied to score 109. I think that's the third highest on the slate. So I think Warriors are worst at 106. So, I mean, it's not a bad spot here. I love DeMar on both sides. I think DeMar is my favorite guy here. He's just too cheap, in my opinion. 7K on DK, 7.5 on FanDuel. Should play, like, if I had to guess, 40 plus minutes here in a do or die game. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. So, yeah, I love him here. I think he's going to be very chalky for good reason. So, he's my favorite play. We have DeJounte Murray as well. He is 7.7 on FanDuel. I mean, that's a good price tag. I think that's where you can kind of decide if you want to play him or not. I'm probably going to play him there. But on DK, he's 6.3, so that's just way too cheap. I have no idea why he's that cheap. He's just an easy lock over there, free square. Um, then we have our boy, Keldon Johnson, guy who always seems to do us wrong. But I don't mind him here. Sort of like Dougie McDermott's yesterday. He's in the mid 4K range, should play around 25 to 30 minutes. So he should be able to get us to, or get himself to 5x here, be a decent value play just to kind of fit in some other guys around 8K. So I don't mind him on either side. I think he's a decent play. Rudy Gay, another guy in this similar range. I think he's more in play on DraftKings. He's 4K over there. He's a veteran. He should probably see additional minutes here in this game, so I don't mind him. Same thing for Patty Mills. Patty Mills is only 3.3 on DK. Don't mind him over there as a last piece. I think on FanDuel, where he's shooting guard, you don't need it as much. He's 3.6. Lonnie Walker, another guy. Like I feel like we have a 4-game slate here. All these games matter, so I'm gonna pretty much mention everyone, which I kind of hate doing. But I have a lot of interest in the Spurs, so Lonnie Walker as well. He's 3.9K on FanDuel. I think that's a good price tag for him. He's another guy that should see 30 plus minutes if I had to guess. Another guy that's going to provide us with value here, just because we don't have like these standout value spots. So I think he's a decent play here. And then Pirtle, the pretty much the only guy I didn't mention. I don't mind him either. I think he's a much better play on DK, where he's 4.9K. On FanDuel, he's a little more expensive, 6.3K. So not as interested there, but I think on DraftKings, probably going to have Pirtle.
What about Gorgie Jang? You love that guy.
Yeah, Gorgie Jang, I don't think he's going to get minutes here. Maybe 9 minutes, but yeah, no interest at all.
So what do you think? DeMar 40 plus minutes, DeJounte 40 plus minutes, Pirtle 30-ish minutes, 32. We have it here.
Yeah, 32. Keldon like 25 to 30. Rudy Gay 25 to 30. Lonnie 30 plus. Mills 25 to 30. So I mean, yeah, all these guys that you checked off, I have interest in, on one site or the other.
Kind of like Patty Mills. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was talking to someone earlier. Like Patty Mills seems like a guy that, or he's proven to be a guy that Popovich trusts in these sort of bigger games. Could get some more minutes here, just because I think Pop trusts him.
Yeah, I think he could be nice. I like him. The price tag's nice too. I don't think it's too hard for him to pay it off, especially if he gets a run. Do you think 24 or 25 minutes here is accurate for him? Do you think we could see, like, do you think you could see more, like 30 minutes? If that were to happen, would someone else significantly drop? Like, would it? I don't think he would eat into like DeJounte or DeMar's minutes, but
Probably like Lonnie Walker, but like I think he's a better play on DK. On FanDuel, you have Lonnie Walker for 300 more. Lonnie's likely to start here, so I feel safer with him getting the minutes. But on DK, where Mills is 3.3, I think he's a really good play over there as value.
yeah, I like that too. Let's see what we got. Got some chat here. Hasty says DeJounte Murray sus as well.
I mean, the thing is with DeJounte, he can get you like five stocks, so that can kind of boost a bad performance in DFS. So, I mean, that's why I like him, especially on DK where he's just way too cheap.
Yeah, Hasty says Jaw built for this. He says he's been waiting for this his whole life. Underrated guy like Jaw and Dame will always go out and perform. Overrated guys like LaMelo and LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with that. I love Jaw. I'm a big Jaw fan. One of my favorite players. And yeah, I think he's gonna perform here.
Okay. Willie says Schroeder is tonight's LaMelo. He's dissatisfied with his current role on the Lakers, and that will show tonight.
Yeah, don't have much interest in Schroeder. But yeah, I could see that. I saw the rumors as well.
Okay, and then did I miss this one to Sean? I don't know if I already did it. He says Vassell or Lonnie Walker.
Give me Lonnie Walker. I'm assuming Lonnie starts, so that's why I'll take Lonnie. If Vassell starts, I'll take Vassell. If Mills starts, I'll take Mills.
Yeah, and Rondo here had to jump in on that comment about Schroeder. He says, in response to Willie, says, true, and the Lakers thought they could replace Rondo with Schroeder.
Yeah, he had to jump in. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah. Let's see. Spurs going to be tough out tonight from Hasty. T-Bay says, sad to see LaMelo struggle yesterday. As a big fan of his, it was sad to see. He did not seem engaged. Still a pup. I just want LaMelo to be more aggressive yesterday. Great year, though.
Yeah, great year. And yeah, I think I would have liked to see him be more aggressive as well.
I think if he didn't get hurt, maybe if he stayed in, it could have looked a little different. But yeah, it's still a great year, I think. It definitely, would you say, exceeded most people's expectations from the start of the year to where he finished?
Yeah, for sure.
Quite a bit, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about like the start of the year, probably like you mean like before the year started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that for sure.
Yeah. Hasty says, love the, I don't know what is that, Chris? Do you know what that says? DJ Meech Schroeder voiceovers? Is that the
No,
Lakers
I don't know what
announcer?
that is.
I don't know. Hasty also says Patty's going to play hard tonight. A sleeper play for sure. Solo says perfect Patty Mills night. Is that how you get popped? How do you get popped here?
I think you get popped with the younger guys, like a Keldon, like a Lonnie Walker, because I mean he wants the guys that he can trust in this situation. But while I say that, like I'm gonna play the younger guys here as well because they're very cheap.
Well, what older guys are you talking about? Rudy Gay, primarily? Mills? DeRozan?
Yeah, Mills, DeRozan, Gay, like you said. Yeah, those three.
Yeah, I mean, of those three, I think Gay is the one that stands out for me as the riskiest one here, I think,
Yeah, for sure.
at his price tag. Yeah, the thing with Mills is I think his price tag is pretty nice. So that's why I'm not saying...
Yeah, I think Gay has a really nice price tag on DraftKings 4K. I think that's where I like him a lot.
Yeah, 4K seems nice. I was looking at the FanDuel. I think it's like 4.6 or something. Sean says Kuz or Keldon Johnson.
I mean, I'll probably say Keldon. Kuzma, he's 4K. Keldon's 4.5, I think. Yeah, I'll take Keldon.
Yeah. And then Hasty says this, which is also what I sort of think. He says Patty's going to play more minutes if it's a close one.
Yep.
Yeah. Hasty says Hornets can't run sets with LaMelo running the point. It's just playground ball.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have to. Like he's their young guy, their young prospect. So I mean, they have to learn to. Otherwise, it's a bad pick, right?
Yeah, I was going to say I feel like for them, I mean, it's not like they're a great team. Like
No, I mean, they exceeded expectations like crazy. They were supposed to be one of the worst teams in the league.
yeah, exactly. So I think,
And they were missing Hayward, so that's a big guy, like a big guy in the half court offense that they run the offense through that they're missing. So, I mean, they had a great year. LaMelo had a great year as well.
yeah. I was gonna say I think that's the only way they can play. Like they'll lose games if LaMelo doesn't perform or if he doesn't play playground ball well. But if he does, that's how they'll win games.
Yeah.
Right now, let's see. Sola says Mulder or Bates Diop.
None of them.
Yeah. Let's see. Sola says Gary Payton.
No.
And then Brick says, what time does the MLB live show come on?
We don't have an MLB live show.
We don't have well, yeah, I don't know anything about MLB. Chris does. I don't. So that's why we don't. If we have someone else who knows about MLB, maybe we could do it. I don't know if Chris would want to do another show, though. 2 shows. I don't know. But Royal King is here. What's up? He says Melo shit the bed last night. Expected a little more from him.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really matter in terms of DFS yesterday because he was 100% owned on FanDuel. He didn't have much ownership on DK because he was very expensive. So yeah, it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things in terms of DFS, but in terms of just basketball, yeah, he did shit the bed.
Yep. Memphis, Chris, let's do that. So we got Grayson Allen. He is questionable. Sean McBucket's out for them. Doesn't matter though. Projected starters: John Morant, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Jonas Valanciunas. That's a nice price tag on Valanciunas, 8-7, Chris, on FanDuel. What do you make of the Grizzlies here?
Yeah, I have a ton of interest in the Grizzlies. Yeah, I can't play him for that price tag on FanDuel though. We have to spend up for other studs. You can't just play every stud in one lineup, so it's really hard for me to get there. But John Morant, I love him on FanDuel, 7.5K. I think he's just, I think he's my favorite point guard on this slate. He might not be like the best point per dollar point guard. Maybe he actually is. He's popping a lot. But yeah, I love him today. I think he's going to have a great game. I think he's going to play a ton of minutes here. We saw it in the bubble last year. He played great. So yeah, I have a ton of interest in Ja. He's my favorite Grizzly here on FanDuel. On DK, I think he's a little more expensive. He's 8.3K. That's where I don't really need him, especially if I'm playing Steph Curry. Steph Curry for 10-1 on DK. Don't really want to go 8-3 for Ja Morant as well. It'll be hard to fit in other pieces. So a lot more interest on FanDuel for Ja Morant. But I think some of their bigs here, Jaren Jackson Jr., I think he's a really good play on both sites. He is 6'6 on FanDuel, 5'9 on DK. If he stays out of foul trouble, he should crush this price tag. Should play a lot of minutes. If I had to guess, probably 34 to 36. But a lot of it depends on the foul trouble situation, just because he's always super handsy. So I have a lot of interest in him, both sites. And then Joe Val, you talked about him quickly, 8-7 on FanDuel. Don't love that price tag, but I think on DK where he's 7-6, I think you can easily fit that in. So I have a ton of interest in Joe Val on DK. FanDuel, not as much. So yeah, it's mostly those three guys. I think those are the three clear main guys for the Grizzlies. If you want to play someone like Kyle Anderson, I don't mind it as a last piece. I think he's like 6'2 on FanDuel, 5.3 on DK, so better play on DK, but more of a last piece guy. And then Dylan Brooks, he has upside, but he's just too expensive now. He had a few good games in a row, so not too interested in him.
Okay. Rondo says if Grayson Allen doesn't play, it might be tough for the Grizzlies to win.
I know Hasty's not going to like that one.
Yeah, he said right, Hasty. Yeah, Golden State Lakers, last game of the slate. So I guess that's the one that has more hype here. So Warriors side, Kelly Oubre out for them. Damian Lee out as well. Projected starters: Steph Curry, Wiggins, Bazemore, Green, and Kevon Looney. Yeah, what do you make of the Warriors here, Chris? Big game.
Yeah, big game. Yeah, we know where the production comes from the Warriors. It's mostly Steph Curry. It's Draymond as well, and then Wiggins has up and down days, so can't really play him in cash games. I think he's a decent tournament option, but just way too expensive here, so probably not going to play him anywhere. But yeah, Steph Curry, he's the main guy here. He is 10-4 on FanDuel, 10-1 on DK. I like the DK price tag a lot more. I think on FanDuel, I kind of prefer spending up for LeBron at small forward. I feel like small forward is very thin always on these small slates. Point guard's usually loaded, so it makes sense for me to spend up for LeBron instead of Steph on FanDuel, and then Steph on DK. Yeah, so Steph's my guy, my favorite one. If you want to play someone else here, Draymond, I think he's a decent play on FanDuel, 8.2K. Pretty expensive, but he crushes when he gets minutes. I expect 38 plus minutes here, unless it's a blowout early for the Lakers, which I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be a competitive game. But yeah, I like Draymond, Kevon Looney. I think he's a decent last piece option on FanDuel, 3.9K in cash games. He should play 22 minutes here. The Lakers play pretty big. They have Drummond, they have Harrell, they have Gasol off the bench playing the 5. And then obviously AD as well. So I think Looney's going to get minutes here. I think he's a decent last piece. But it's mostly going to be those three guys for me from the Warriors.
Okay. Question here, quick one: Schroeder or DeJounte Murray?
What site?
Deshaun.
I'll just say DeJounte Murray, both sites.
What site does Deshaun play on? FanDuel?
Plays on both.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Hasty says Grayson is a punk, trash-tastic. Rick says, "Are you worried about LA double teaming Steph?"
I mean, it's not really like Steph's dealt with double teams pretty much this entire season, pretty much his entire life. Like, I mean, he's been the best player pretty much in every game he's played in. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I think he still has a really good game here. But yeah, I'm not. I don't really take that into account.
Okay. What do you think of like? Do you think Wiggins could have a big game here, Chris? Any chance of that? What do you call him? You
Not
call him Maple Pippin?
uh, Poutine Pippin, Maple Jordan is what they call him
Yeah.
on the streets. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's just too expensive. He's 7.8 on FanDuel. DK 6.6. I don't mind that price tag. If you think they're going to double Steph, I think Wiggins could have a big game here if the Warriors keep it close. So I don't mind that. But Wiggins is, I mean, if you don't like LaMelo, you're not going to like Wiggins. Like Wiggins is mentally weak. Um, he's a guy that's going to falter here in a big game. I don't think he's ever played in a big game his entire life. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too high on Wiggins here.
But there's no expectations placed on Wiggins here.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, maybe I think DK you can do it, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Austin says, "Bless you." I was actually a cough, but I thought it did sound like a sneeze. T-Bay says, "So I saw a stat today where Wardell is shooting 32% from three against the Lakers, and he's averaged only 23 points per game in the 3 games against LA. This could be something to look out for. I'm staying away."
I mean, very small sample size, like 3 games, 2 of them were blowouts. I'm looking right now. He played 29 minutes, 40 fantasy points last game. That was a 30-point blowout loss. The game before that, he played 25 minutes, got 37 fantasy points, blowout loss as well.
But
And then
again,
in there,
I think
huh?
when they lose, it's because Curry's not doing well. They live and die by Steph Curry and his shot. So
Well, I mean, that's true, but he's still putting up big numbers in these blowout losses. And this is the regular season where if it's a 30-point game, he's going to get pulled. In this one, I mean, if it's a 30-point game, he's going to get pulled. But if it's like a 15 to 20-point game, I still think he's going to be in there. So, longer leash here for him. So, I'm not too concerned about that.
yep. Let's see. Rondo says not worried about the double, but worried about the quadruple team. Yeah. Draft A Wiggins from Rondo. T-Base says Curry doesn't score 40. Warriors are screwed. I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
He says it again. Stay away from Curry. That is my advice. Doesn't play great against LA. They rough him up for sure. It's obvious. It's part of their game plan. Braun's game plan for his teammates.
Yeah.
Hasty says, this is a good take. He says Wiggins needs like 12 boards for the Warriors to win.
Yeah. I mean, Wiggins has been playing very well this past month or so. I mean, this entire season, really, he's been really solid. He's been picking it up recently.
Maybe this is the game where Wiggins changes the narrative about him, Chris.
Yeah, he would have to go for like 30 real life points, 10 rebounds, 10 plus rebounds. Like a little 30-10 game here would definitely change the narrative about him.
Does he has that in him, doesn't he?
I mean, yeah, he has all the athletic ability. I think it's just he's mentally weak. I mean, I just that's what I think about Wiggins.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe lock him in tournaments if you're crazy. Lock in Wiggins. In the case of a blowout, Chris, Curry gets pulled, 30-point game. Does Wiggins get pulled?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. World King says got the Lakers winning this. To be honest, Hasty says Curry gets special treatment from the refs. They can't be rough with him. Willie says Blowhard's 3-point and free throw shooting sucks, and tonight's game will clearly show this weakness. I mean, it's been on display his whole career, hasn't it? He's still done fine.
Yeah, and I mean these games where he gets minutes, like secure minutes, he always crushes. So, I mean, I love LeBron. I'm a big LeBron fan.
Yeah, it's not like his 3-point or free throws got any worse. He's the same LeBron. But yeah, Lakers side, Chris. All right, let's see. There's some more talk here. Rondo says if Wiggins has the big game, he says people just say it's one game from Wiggins. If Wiggins just spams circle B button and brings back his vintage high school spin move, he'll drop 50 plus.
Yeah, same as what's his name? Okafor, Jaleel Okafor. He's another spin king. Same as your boy Pascal Siakam.
Oh yeah, Siakam's got the nastiest spin in the league.
And double tap circle on the controller.
Yeah, and people think I remember T-Bay. He's like, oh, he's only got only one move. But I mean, doesn't people still can't stop it? It's too good.
If I had one move that got me to the NBA, I would be happy. I would be a happy man.
Yeah. Let's see. Hasty says Wiggins has the talent, just not the mental fortitude. Been spoiled his whole life like LaMelo. I'm surprised he didn't say like LeBron after he got his Hummer.
I'm glad that Hasty and I agree on this because he pretty much said what I've been saying with the mental fortitude.
Yeah. Playoff Braun is different from T-Bay. He says Braun violates every time he shoots a free throw. It's getting silly.
Is that thing LeBron does? Is it 0 dark 30? Is that what LeBron does? Does he still do that?
What is that?
Thomas, do you know? Is it called 0 dark 30? Something like that.
What is that?
It's when he just doesn't do anything on social media the entire playoffs. I don't know if he's doing it anymore.
He should. Should he?
Yeah.
Let's see. Willie says Fade Wiggins not reliable, loose cannon with the mindless game.
Yeah, no one's playing Wiggins. But yeah, we're just talking about it because we have a small slate here. So a few extra minutes.
Yep. T-Base says, yeah, 0 dark 30 goes incognito mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the Lakers over there. We got AD, LeBron. I mean, no matter what time of the year it is, they always have some sort of tag. I'm not sure why. But they just got the probable tag there. Projected starters: Schroeder, Caldwell Pope, James, Davis, and Drummond. Drummond's built for the playoffs, Chris. He's a beast. What do you make of the Lakers here? And I guess, what do you make of these probable tags? Why are they putting them there? What's the meaning to this, Chris?
Well, I mean, maybe they're just being truthful. They're probable to play. I mean, maybe one day we're gonna get a day where they just don't play. Yeah, they're gonna play here. Lakers, a team I'm not too interested in tonight, other than LeBron James. I think he's the play on FanDuel, 10K over there. I think he's going to get 35 plus minutes here in this game. He should crush with those minutes. He's just he always crushes with minutes. So that's why I like him a lot on FanDuel. On DK, I already said it. I prefer Steph Curry over LeBron. You can fit him in with the different positions, so it makes it easier to play Steph. But I think on FanDuel, I'm going to play LeBron James at small forward. And then another last piece guy that I think is popping in some teams right now on DraftKings is KCP. I think they kind of put him onto Steph Curry, main defender. He's 4K on DK, so he just needs like a few threes, maybe a steal or two, a few rebounds to get there. So don't mind him as a value piece on this slate. Kind of talked about it earlier. We don't have value pieces who are just going to take over the main usage role for teams. So we kind of have to go to these thinner guys, more thin guys who play a lot of minutes, cheap. So I think KCP fits that mold on DK. So I like him there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it on this team. I don't really want to play Schroeder. AD, I think he's super interesting in tournaments. I think he's going to be by far the lowest owned stud between LeBron, Curry, and himself. So I think you can use him in tournaments. That could be sneaky. If he plays 38 minutes for whatever reason, I mean, we know the upside that he has. He can go for 70, 80 fantasy points. So really like AD in tournaments, but in cash games, it's going to be LeBron for me on FanDuel.
Okay, let's go over FanDuel, Chris. Core plays: Morant, DeRozan, Jaren Jackson Jr. Why do you like those guys here?
Yeah, just cheaper price tags in this game. Kind of getting mid-range price tags for Jamar. They both should play 40 plus, and then Jaren Jackson, super good point per minute guy. If he plays 34 minutes like we project, he should absolutely crush.
Yep. Before we go over the lineups, let's see. Hasty says LA's going to play so big today. Warriors front line needs to step up defensively.
Who? Sorry?
LA's going to play big.
Like the Lakers.
Drummond, AD, LeBron, big boys.
So the Warriors front line needs to step up. Yeah, so I mean, perfect transition to these lineups because the first one has Looney. That's why I like Looney. He should get more minutes. So let's look at these first two lineups here. So yeah, it's a 2v2. First side has DeJounte and Looney. Second side has Schroeder and Pirtle. Go over the rest of the guys quickly. We have Josh, should play 40 plus. DeMar, locked him in as well. Lonnie Walker here, last piece sort of guy, 3'9". We only project him for 20, so he doesn't need to have a crazy game. As long as he doesn't get benched, as long as he plays 30 minutes, he should be able to get there. So I like him as the last piece. I mean, I don't love him, but I think he's viable there as the last piece. Um, Small forward, LeBron and Keldon. LeBron, I think he's the guy on FanDuel, and then Keldon, another guy like Lonnie Walker, cheap, should get decent minutes, should be able to get to 23. If he doesn't, I mean, it's not going to kill us, I don't think. So don't mind him. And then I like this power forward duo a lot with Green and Jaren Jackson. Green for 8-2. In this game against the Lakers, I expect him to play 38 plus minutes here. He crushes with minutes. So I like him a lot. Jaren Jackson, he's in my core. And then 2v2, DeJounte, Kevon Looney versus Schroeder and Pirtle. This one's kind of tough, but I'm just going to lean the first side. I don't really want to play Schroeder here. It's a good price tag for him. But I mean, I think DeJounte plays, like I said earlier, 40 plus minutes in this game. He has so much upside with his stocks. So I think in a game where he's playing a ton of minutes, he could easily hit a ceiling. So I like him a lot. And then Looney as a last piece here for 3-9, like that comment said, the Lakers are going to play big, so the Warriors will need Looney's size out there to kind of match up with Drummond, Harrell, and Gasol. So yeah, I like the first side here. I'm going to go with that one.
Okay. Rick here says LeBron needs to crush the Warriors tonight to make the decision easier for Steph when he leaves to go to the Lakers.
I don't think that's happening.
Hasty says, "Will the Lakers throw it to play the Suns?"
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's just too risky. Like, if they lose, then they're in a do or die game next time out. So, I mean, it's basketball; anything can happen. So, I don't think that's gonna happen.
T-Base says, "Must win for the Lakers today. The Suns are second seed. They need to win today. I'd much rather play the Suns than the Jazz. The Jazz are too deep."
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams are good. I think they're pretty similar as well. So, I wouldn't really try to match up like that.
Yeah. Austin says, Rick meant Curry to the Nets.
Curry to the Nets. I mean, I think Curry's a Warrior for life.
Yeah, maybe. Are there bets you can put on that?
Probably somewhere, somehow, but I do not know.
Was that up your alley?
No.
Okay. Do you know where the icon is for the ceiling build, Chris? Does it not always appear?
Maybe you have to refresh. Maybe it wasn't here. Maybe we didn't have ceiling projections when you opened it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably got it. So yeah, DK, Chris, your core's here. DeJounte, Murray, DeMar DeRozan, Jakob, and Steph. Recap here. Why do you like these guys?
Yeah, so Spurs are cheap, both sites really. DeJounte here, free square 6'3". He's 7'7" on FanDuel, and I'm playing him over there, so why wouldn't I play him for 6'3"? That wouldn't make much sense. DeMar, 7K, even cheaper than FanDuel as well. Pirtle, 4'9", compared to 6'3" on FanDuel, so he's cheaper. And then Steph Curry, I prefer him as my stud here, so that's why I locked him in.
Okay. And then which ones do you want to go over?
First two, I think it's a 2v2 here, and then I'll go over the same guys. So we have DeJounte, DeMar, who are in my core. Jaren Jackson, talked about him on FanDuel. He's even cheaper here on DK, so I like him more. Joval, really like him here against the Spurs. I think it's a good matchup for him. He's only 7'6" on DK compared to 8'7" on FanDuel.
Oh.
So it makes sense for me to get him. What?
There's a nice narrative here. Pirtle versus Joval, ex-Raptors. They used to play with each other.
Yeah, and they're both in this lineup, so could be good.
Jakob used to back up Joval.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we have Curry and Pirtle, who are also in my core, and then 2v2 KCP, Rudy Gay versus Mills and Keldon. This one's pretty close. I mean, I'm going to try to go with the side that I think is going to get a safer route to minutes. I think it's the first side. I think KCP obviously starts. He plays a lot of minutes in these big games. We saw him in the, I think, finals last year. He was just playing super well in the games that mattered. So only 4K here. He should stand in the corner, get some threes. So I like him. And then Gay, kind of talk about him. He's a veteran here, 4K on DK. Should probably get 26 minutes if I had to guess. So I like him. The second side, Mills and Keldon. I mean, I don't mind these guys. I have Keldon on FanDuel. We talked about Mills. We talked about how he's a decent play. But I just feel safer with the minutes with someone like KCP. I think he's going to get a secure 37 plus minutes here. So, yeah, I like the first side.
Okay. Let's see. Rondo says Hornets need Curry. What do you think of that? Curry on the Hornets.
Yeah, I think if he were to leave, I think that's probably or that's what I would say is the most likely destination because he's from there.
Yeah. Hasty says Jonas is going to kill Jakob.
Yeah, I mean Jonas is the better player, but he's no slouch. He's a good defender.
Yeah, he is.
So I don't know if he's going to kill him.
Jakob's fundamentals.
Yeah, for sure.
Fundamental basketball right there from Jakob Pertl.
Mhm.
Same as Jonas though as well, but yeah. Let's see. Does Jonas still do like the thing where he catches at the 3-point line and then like pump fakes?
Yeah, sometimes he shoots them now.
Yeah, it was so weird. I remember watching that on the Raptors all the time. He always used to catch it at the 3-point line and just pump fake.
Yeah.
I don't know. He didn't. It's not like he was even shooting the 3 in games at that point when he was doing the pump fake. So I'm not sure why anyone would fall for it. But
Just to get the respect of the defender.
yeah, his shot's pretty good. His 3-shot. I don't know what his percentages are, but it looked good before. Maybe he doesn't get that much volume, but yeah. Let's see. T-Bay says Rondo hates LeBron, but he'll never admit it. What do you think of that?
I don't know what to say about that one. That's more of a. I mean, we need Rajon Rondo to answer that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. What do you want to do now? Single game slates here
Yeah, sure.
on both sides or just FanDuel?
We can do both sides quickly. Yeah, so this one's kind of tough on FanDuel, the Spurs Grizzlies one, because I mean, any of these guys could be the top scorers between Joval, DeMar, and Ja. We have Joval projecting the highest. If you want to play DeMar instead, I mean, I wouldn't say anything bad about that. I think he has equal likelihood to be the top scorer. Same for Ja. So I like all three of those guys. I think you got to play. I mean, one of the combinations. I think. I mean, I think Joval probably has the safest route. Maybe DeMar does, but I like both of those guys. I think Ja has the most upside, though. I mean, we've actually seen Joval and DeMar put up ceiling games as well. So I don't really know. It's kind of tough here, but I do like the value guys in the first lineup with Jaren Jackson and Patty Mills. I think those are two super strong value plays at util. So I do like the first lineup here. It's just kind of how you want to order the first three guys with the multiplier positions.
Yeah, look at that. Ex-Raptors battling each other out on their new teams, and they're both the MVPs here.
Yeah, a lot of Raptors here.
Yeah, Raptors they were stacked. They know how to find the diamonds in the rough, develop their guys for sure. Yeah, it's a long grind for the Raptors. Once they lose those guys, it takes a while to get back there, though. I don't think it's gonna be pretty for the next few years. I mean, even Brissett, they gave up Brissett. They have some good development there for sure. Yeah, Warriors, Lakers. This one, Chris, Curry, AD, LeBron, kind of mixed bag here. Mostly Curry though. On FanDuel, what do you think of this one?
Yeah. So I mean, I talked about it. I think Curry's my favorite stud on this slate. I think AD is the best tournament play because I think he's going to be the lowest owned one. But yeah, I think Curry is the high scorer from this game. I mean, he's the lone guy on his team, whereas on the Lakers they have LeBron and AD, so that's two guys. But yeah, I think Curry's the safest option if you had to pick one. So yeah, I like Curry MVP, LeBron at star if you're playing cash games. I think that's my favorite route, and then this lineup gives you Draymond at pro, Bazemore, and Looney. Yeah, so I mean, I like these lineups. I think the first one's super solid. Bazemore, I like him a lot. Didn't talk about him much, but I think he makes sense in this slate.
Yep. T-Bay says, can't believe you compared Farzad to Jonas before.
Yeah, I mean he kind of plays the same. Doesn't play the same. He runs the
Is
same.
it like that high spin move as well?
No, I mean the other guy doesn't have any skills, whereas Joval does. But they kind of run the same, similar build, I guess. If if Joval was like 5'11", however tall Farzad
What?
is, I don't know.
Um, let's see. Got new addition here. What's up? Hasty says, Kyle Anderson knows the Spurs playbook. Could that be the move? Slow-mo a vet now.
Yeah, slow mo. I mean, I didn't talk about him too much on the show today, but yeah, he does. He does know the Spurs playbook. He is a vet. He obviously spent a lot of time on the Spurs, so I mean that could be a sneaky narrative. I definitely don't mind that.
Yep. Let's see what else we got. New edition says, I'm like McLovin, got liquor, yeah baby. Let's smash this 2-gamer again. Um, so I mean, you got like a fake ID,
Yeah, maybe.
fake ID from Hawaii. Hasty says 80 will put up better DFS numbers than any other Laker tonight.
Yeah, I'm thinking of playing tournaments and just locking in AD because he's going to be the lowest owned stud on the slate. But yeah, if he does that, that could pay off.
Yeah, who do we lock in for this Spurs Memphis one on DraftKings, Chris? We have to stay compliant. So I'm gonna say Patty Mills at the util.
I don't think util. Give me Pirtle instead of Mills, and then we need one more, right?
Yeah.
I'll say DeMar DeRozan. I think he's DeMar DeRozan util.
Okay. New edition says it's McMuffin. It's McMuffin, his name.
It's like instead of McLovin.
Yeah, he says, and why not? Blake Griffin did it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I saw the Blake Griffin shoes. Those are pretty cool.
But yeah, what do you like here, Chris?
Yeah, so I mean, this one you can see the projection difference between the first two is almost 4 points. So that usually means the first side is much better. Yeah, so DeJounte at captain. You got all the rest of the best plays: Joe Val, DeMar, and then Pirtle, who's too cheap, I think. And then you round it out with Patty Mills. So yeah, I like the first lineup here a lot.
Okay, last one here. Warriors LA. Sort of value. Curry MVP.
No, I don't want to lock in an MVP just because there's a few different routes. Let's go with like Draymond util. I think he's a really good play at util. Don't love him at MVP, but I think util for his price tag, 8K here makes a lot of sense. And then
Come on.
maybe KCP for 4-2. We talked about him a lot on DK as a play in the classic slate, so I think he's a good one here as well.
Okay. Curry, LeBron, Kevon Looney, captain Chris. That's crazy here. Number 3.
Yeah, so you can see like if you play Kevon Looney there, you get the 3 studs. You get AD, Curry, and LeBron.
We also got Green too.
Yeah, and Green. So if you don't play someone like Looney at captain, if you play one of the studs at captain, you're kind of fading one of the studs in terms of the top 3 plays: Curry, LeBron, and AD. But I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense in cash games to play a stud in the captain slot. Just gives you a higher floor. Don't really love Looney at the captain slot. You don't have much upside with that, in my opinion. So yeah, I like the first side here. We can take a look at the first 2, I guess. I think it's just a decision between LeBron and Curry at captain. And then the rest of the lineup: Draymond, Wiggins. I mean, we didn't love Wiggins, but I assume he's pretty cheap here on this slate. KCP and Looney, I like them as value guys. So, like I said, Curry's my favorite stud on this slate in terms of raw points. So I like him at the captain, and then LeBron at util makes sense.
Okay. New edition says, honestly can't wait for more games, but gotta take what you can get. Right, Chris? Is that right, Chris?
Yeah, right.
Right. Anything else to go over, Chris? Wrap it up here.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Okay, guys. For those of you who don't know, check out our site, dfscrunch.com. That is the optimizer that we used here throughout the show, every show. So if you go to our site and you set up an account, if you've never been a member, you'll get 3 days for free added to your subscription at the start of it. So you won't be charged until after the 3rd day, and then after that, it'll just go to whatever plan you set up, weekly, monthly, or yearly, whatever you set up. More than welcome to try it out and then cancel before that third day. So you'll be billed exactly 72 hours from the moment you sign up. So you can just try it out for free, cancel it, no hard feelings, but do try it out if you have not already. You get full access to our Discord, our entire optimizer here, all the sports, both FanDuel and DraftKings. So what sports are running now, Chris? You're better at this than me.
I mean, we say it every day with the three main sports: NBA, MLB, NHL. NHL is in playoffs, MLB is in the regular season, and then on the weekends we have the MMA, NASCAR, all that stuff. Soccer runs every day as well. So a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff here. So yeah, you'll get full access to all that stuff during your trial, plus all the different slates we have. So we do have all the, I think we have all the slates for all the sports. So yeah, lots of stuff during that trial. Lots of value, lots of success, like you saw in the Discord. So check it out. Great place to be for DFS lovers and fans and degens, whatever you are. Not degens. Chris shook his head. But yeah, check it out, guys. New edition here says, reminds me of Garry back in junior high school when he had no choice but to walk around with a big Shirley because he got feared. What?
Like McLovin?
Yeah. By the way, he only weighed 80, soaking wet. Picture that. Am I getting picked on here? Hasty says, Kevon Looney getting in foul trouble early. Refs will gift foul calls to the Lakers. I could see that.
Yeah. Let's see Kevon Looney's game log here this season against the Lakers. Yeah, kind of ugly, but I mean, on this slate, 2-game slate where we don't have value, so we kind of need to make value out of these uglier plays. So I don't mind him.
Okay. Last stuff, guys, YouTube stuff. Just a reminder, if you enjoyed the show today, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down, but do one of those. And then if you want to come back here, make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell button and the all text so you can get notified. We'll be doing the show all throughout the playoffs, 2.5 hours before every main slate. So easy way to stay up to date is to subscribe, hit the bell button. It'll just make it show up at the front of your YouTube. So do all that stuff. And yeah, any closing words from you, Chris?
I mean, hopefully everyone enjoys these games. Really cool that we got these games now. I love the do or die games. So I actually like the Spurs Memphis game more, just because this one's do or die. The other one is if you lose, you still have another chance. So I really like the do or die games.
Yeah, I liked it. I was excited for yesterday's games. It's extra playoff basketball, playoff environment basketball. It's maybe even higher stakes in like a game one of like the first round, even the second round. Maybe, I don't know, because it's do or die. It's quite important for these teams, so it's definitely a cool thing. I like it. Has LeBron said anything to take back what he said about the planes being dumb, Chris?
I don't know. I don't really follow LeBron like that, so I do not know.
Yeah. If he hasn't, it'd just be nice to see him lose. So that would be too good. It would be too good. I'd be happy about that a little bit. I also want to see the Warriors do well. They're the underdogs here, aren't they? What's the spread actually, Chris?
It's 5.5 right now. I think it was 4.5 yesterday. I actually got some money on the 4.5 because I thought that was way too little for the Lakers, and it's trending in the direction that they're going to win by more. So yeah, I think the Lakers are going to win it, obviously, but I mean, if Curry can get hot, it's the perfect matchup for him because he can beat anyone on his own.
Yeah, he says it here. One and done is the best ball there is. Like the madness. It's awesome for sure. Last question: Bane or Melton on FanDuel from Solo, Chris?
Bane or Melton?
Yeah.
That's pretty tough. Give me Melton. I don't know. I don't love either of them though.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be in the Discord, guys. So if you have more questions, come hang out there. I think that's it, though. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Good luck today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and see you guys tomorrow.